Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Echoes, a Lucid9 fan game. Previously, we had an unexpected reunion. Basically, I assume I never remember his name, but he looks like the guy who spoke like you can with the accent. You couldn't figure out what he was saying. And we played Doctor a bit, which is cool. And hopefully I didn't do the wrong thing. I might have. Who knows? But, yeah, that's where I left off. Let us continue. There's no way we'd run into each other again. Not after 3 years. And, like, he had a crush on Ruby, too. You two from Special Services got told your lot was... Oh, you know, I can just do a southern accent. You two from Special Services got told your lot was bringing a truck's worth of serum down here. Sorry it took so long. We ran into some obstacles during delivery. You have us proper gun by biggin. Became what would be shocking punchy enough for ya to look in this build. 2 shocking punchy near great. No strings. See, you ain't strange to talking street good. Camp's useful around here, especially for docs. If we're talking honest, though, you've got my thanks for sticking your necks out in this one. Operatives. A few more weeks without that delivery and we'd all be burnt like bad toast. Chairman contacted me earlier regarding my lab findings and told me to meet with this operative with Calcine Lucid9 to discuss it. That one you? That meddling sack of... You're looking at her. Mitt, let's get cracking then. Afraid your colleagues going to have to stay behind though. Top dog don't want me discussing my findings with nobody else. Did he say why? Said it was security risk, like researching a disease like this one smack in the middle of the shack and sticks ain't all that in the bucket already. In that case, I shall take my ease. Take my ease. Okay. I bid you both fond farewell. Bye, Hisao. If this Dr. Kuragane is who I think he is, then I can see why Kosuke would want me to meet with him. I know he means well. In those days, every impractical thing he did could be reduced to an act of conscience, regardless of the outcome. However, that won't make up for his tendency to pick at old wounds like a neutered hound. Maybe there's a chance that this isn't Masato, but that's all it is. A substantially low probability. Accompanied by the hope that I won't have to face the memory of how tactlessly I dismissed his feelings the last time we spoke. And yet, he treated me like the kind one back then, the reasonable one. Everyone did. We broke from one another, and in the end, both of us broke from him. It's a shame. He needed us most when we were already gone. Must have took guts playing dead for as long as you did. That choice came into it though. Even though I know what's going on, might as well pretend that I don't. Red tape is more important these days than honesty, and I'm not interested in getting tangled up in either. Perhaps you have made a mistake for someone else. You have me mistaken for someone else, Kuragane. So you're telling me I spent 2 years at the IIBA and a day by the river with a different Rui Hayata with the same hair color, face, and voice that you happen to have. Is it the same? I feel like it's not. It's not really the same. And I feel like her voice wasn't like how the voice was that the voice actress did in the beginning. I don't know anyone by that name, Dr. Kuragane. Even if I did, you're risking termination just asking about it. You're attempting to investigate the identity of a tenured operative of the Special Services Division, likely without authorization, even Alpha 1 level clearance. For your own sake, please disengage from this line of discussion immediately. Masato sighs. Never liked to make things easy, did you? Zenith 4 to SSD actual. I'm going to need a bit of vouching for here. Understood, Zenith 4. Sir? It's alright, Hayata. Neither you nor Kuragane will be punished for discussing personal matters such as these. That would be needlessly cruel, and you're quite familiar with my stance on cruelty. Let me guess. You were the one who arranged this. Are you surprised? Not in the slightest. Let's see if I can do it. It's a little hard to do his voice right now. Then all then all is as it should be. Given your unique position as sinister of tragedy, I see no need to prevent you from revealing your identity and history to those who are already aware of much of it. The general public is one matter, but you met an old friend and are willing to uphold the confidentiality of all other company information entrusted to you on a professional basis. Consider yourself hereby permitted to reminisce on past events. And would you care to explain why you thought this was a good idea? Don't ask Kosuke why. As if you ask Kosuke why, Kosuke decides to go on a rant for an hour. Hayata, the time to burn bridges has passed. Those who sought to do so have long since stranded each of us on an island of their own design, themselves included. Before water begins to rise once more, now is the time to rebuild, to reestablish the connections that were always necessary. Even we are to trespass on the ashes of once was and what can never be again. One can exist in no more isolation than when one's isolators make claims of unity on their behalf. You can ward this isolation off, but first you must conduct yourself with wisdom. People reopen the channels and reestablish discourse. Hayata, you have been given the ability. Saito out. Well, that wasn't exactly the most helpful explanation. Indeed, it sounded a bit like a rambling fortune cookie. It's obvious that Kosuke wants us to talk, though. I might as well do whatever I can to make this conversation as productive as possible. So, looks like it really is you. Shacking straight at it, it's me. Who'd you think I was? Some skinwalker? Some sussy impersonator doing little trolling? What? I don't even know what a skinwalker is. Are you okay, Masa? It's a question for the ages, isn't it? And do you have an answer to that question? Masato looks me dead in the eye. 80% of my scholarships were revoked when Isamu became a city-state. Half of my family is going to die in 6, and the other half will be shot if they ever decide they want to try to enter the city's borders. What do you think my answer is? The only reason I've got this job is because the chairman wanted me to study infectious diseases for him. In return, I agreed to have my head chipped, swore the oath, got tenured as an operative in the Zenith cell, and agreed to go undercover for Way Forward. Even got a degree like you did. Funny, ain't it? Smart as you think you are, all that really matters in life is that you can pay off the right people to convince them you're right for the job. Masato grins, trying to hide the pain written on his face. But like most tragedies, his attempts to cover it up only makes it more obvious that it's there. I'm impressed, you know. Last time we spoke, you were 3/4 scared to bare those fangs of yours. Now look at you. You're a fighting machine. Both of us are. I always knew you could do something great yourself. Just wish I want to full of dumber to see it back then. Yeah. Masato pauses as his voice wavers for a split second. Almost imperceptibly so. You did what it took, Rui. You got her done. Get her done. And Duncan, how sorry I am for not seeing it earlier. Honestly, the only thing I really needed to do was get a chip jammed in my head. Getting carried by one of those, that is hardly something to be proud of. Did I skip something? Okay, guess not. Still not big on apologies, ain't ya? Sure, they mess with our heads, shot up our veins with thinking juice, and did science on us so we be better at shooting and doctoring. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one thing you had that they couldn't science up. A certain young lady I knew always dedicated her life to helping people stricken by people she cared about and doing what needed to be done. That kind of stuff takes soul. They may shake you up like a bobblehead, but they can't shake away the choices you made. And almost all of them, and those all the time, those choices were to do the right thing. And in the end, that's what soul is. The will to leave something good and kind on this shocking mad rock of a planet. You might run out of soul as the days press on, but there's always a piece of it somewhere that you can find and build back up on. I don't know, philosophy lesson ain't my thing. Still, hope you'll forgive me though. There's nothing to forgive, Masa. Even if I wanted to, I doubt I could find it in me to be angry at you. I'm just glad you're still here. Thank you, Rui. Means a lot to hear you say that. That mistake's been weighing on me ever since I heard the news about Yama. If the rumors are true and he's alive, as the chairman says, he's a lucky man to be with you like he is. You deserve someone you can live a good life with, even if that someone isn't me. Anyway, enough of that sugary shit. We got the mother of all businesses to attend to. Masa hands me a small computer tablet. In return for talking to you on his behalf, the chairman gave me the permission to show you this. I like to help you out however I can. Unfortunately, the only assistance I can give you at the moment comes in informational form, and it might not be what you want to hear. Did they tell you about how the virus releases parts of its capsid to distract immune cells? I heard it speeds up infection, antigen disengagement, right? That's not all it can do. Take a look at these two blood samples. Time lapse. Says, I found something in both of them around the same time. Not only were the infected cells producing thyrotrypin, the pituitary, but they managed to hijack white blood cells to start making it as well. Drug treatments ain't gonna slow anyone's metabolism down permanently. So the question still remains on how to treat this shacking thing. And it's harder to figure out a way than ever. I'm aware. Immune serum seems like our best option to fight this virus, if not our only one. As an inoculation, you're right. But as soon as the T cells in there start presenting antigens, it's gonna be a hell of a lot harder to treat if it's used to combat a late stage infection. So far, the virus hasn't killed anyone, just made them confused, unable to work, and a bit predisposed to losing their cool. However, someone with a heart condition or a metabolic disorder gets a majority of their cells infected, and we miss our chance to give them the serum, well, it'll be as likely to kill them as the virus will. Thanks. Didn't want to have to say it myself. We're physicians. We're physicians, for crap's sake. Last shocking thing I want to do is give out a treatment that ends up ending people. Do me a favor, alright? Try not to share this information with anyone. You don't need to. But people start dropping dead in the streets. We're going to need to cause a stir to keep from doing harm by inaction. Containing the virus is primary, and containing the truth is about the virus is secondary. You get me? Perfectly. Unfortunately, I think the safest course of action is to keep it under wraps until the first fatalities show up. Obviously, I'm not going to shout this stuff from the rooftops or talk about it until I have orders to, but I intend to ensure that those orders come as quickly as possible. It's good to hear. Thank you, Rui. No problem. If we can tackle this outbreak early enough on, maybe we can get it under control before anyone notices. I hope so. I hope to God you're right about that, Rui. Sadly, I got about 7 or 8 presumptive cases that need my attention. I'm gonna let you go now. Stay safe out there, Rui. And if you see Ayama, tell him I'm sorry. Feel free to visit the clinic anytime you're not fresh out of serum. I like to make it up to both of you. Continue. Excellent. You returned. I didn't mean to click on that. I trust everything is in order. More or less. I have a few ideas on what could be making life in the district worse than usual. No proof though. Evidence of I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. Last time it was really loud. Evidence of compounding factors aside, we should probably ask around. See what we can find out from the locals. You do realize we're in full armor. Heavily armed and lack jurisdiction here, right? There's no way that wouldn't look suspicious. Way Forward needs support in 6. As long as we offer the people here something in return for their info, we can build trust with the locals. Look around at the part of the city you're currently stuck in. Think we're going to look suspicious compared to that? I feel like if we bribe them, they'll fast. Like they need stuff. Way Forward needs support in 6. As long as we offer the people here something in return for their info, we can build trust with the locals and potentially spread good publicity. Not only will we be helping these people out, we'll be finding out what they know so we can make a more impressive stand against whatever we're up against. It won't be innocuous by any means, but even if we don't learn anything, we need to stay on the good side of the people here. Hopefully we'll end up doing our part to prevent non-hostile citizens from becoming violent extremists. That, and we currently have 2 hours to kill. Might as well spend it doing something morally and legally defensible. Peace out. You make a fair point, Lucid9. Provided we treat the people here with a modicum of respect. It's not as if we'll be antagonizing civilians or obstructing justice. Hopefully that'll be the case. But with the shit some of these men and women have been through, I doubt a modicum will be enough. Thanks for hearing me out, by the way. I'd rather not let this opportunity slip us by. I assume you have started going in... oops, sorry, he's out. I assume you have a starting point in mind for this investigation. I do. I'm almost certain that the virus is causing paranoia around here, but no virus would be enough to provoke this level of civil unrest on its own. There has to be something more. Have you heard of the stories of police brutality in the district? How Black Star treats civilians around here? Alleged police brutality, but yes. Sure. And the stories were true. I bet the media would be more than willing to tell us what actually happened. Well, we'll see what actually happened. Also, I want to see like if that actually affected Hisao in any way. We'll do it right now. We'll see if doing the red one would affect Hisao. Look around at this part of the city you're currently stuck in. You got the worst economic conditions in Isamu, the worst quality of life, and 25 million inbred, out of bred gutter fuckers who'd have no problem making a bedbug look like a good neighbor. The buildings are falling apart, the water is full of lead, and you're just as likely to find someone smoking meth in an alleyway as you are to find a third trimester crack whore getting a surprise abortion over her refund policy. Either will be a breath of fresh air for these people, or they'll see the standard of our equipment and be so scared for the pathetic little things they call their lives that they'll answer any question we give them. If they don't, we still got corporate immunity, so as long as we don't leave behind any evidence or corpses, we can do whatever the hell we want to these people until they're ready to stop resisting. Wow, I'm glad I chose the green. Well, we'll see what happens in the next episode. I'm going to go with the green path. I feel like it's not nice to be mean to these people. They haven't done anything to us. So yeah, we shall see in the next episode.